wish I could swim like dolphins can swim. Though nothing will keep us together, we can beat them forever and ever. How we can be heroes just for one day. How we can be heroes just for one day. I will be king, and you will be queen. Though nothing will drive us away, how we can be heroes just for one day. How we can be us just for one day. Standing by the wall, and the guns shout above our heads, and we kiss as though nothing could fall. And the shame was on the other side. Oh, we can beat them forever and ever, and we can be heroes just for one day.
Wow, what a beautiful song, written by Brian Eno and David Bowie, and then recorded by Peter Gabriel. There, I just gotta change my setup here. One sec. There we go. Back in the saddle. I'm Bruce McDonald, and this is the Telemaker Review. It's 10:26 p.m. on the 19th of April. It's a Saturday. And I guess that's the title of tonight's podcast, Heroes. And my belief that each and every one of us can be heroes. And I don't think that they want us to know that or believe that. I think, and I'll be the first to admit, I don't know what got into me since I came back from Panama. But the last 2 months of podcasting have just been so fluid and so poetic and so expressive and so rich and so deep, and You know, with the exception of last night's podcast, which I did do a bit of research for, they're all just pretty much off the top of my head. Or from the center of my heart, I suppose is a better way of saying it. And there's something about where I live and how I live, and the fact that I live in another language. You know, except when I'm talking to you guys and other people on my computer, and on the occasions that I have a guest up here, like my son or Bob, I'm speaking Spanish all the time. And nobody knows what goes on here on the Talamanca Review. None of my neighbors and none of my family watch it. None of my friends, my Costa Rican friends, watch it. Nor am I sure they'd understand it even if they did. And I live this whole life alone. And I share it with people I've never met face to face. And there's something about this situation that gives me more courage, less inhibition, the courage to speak what I truly believe, what I truly perceive, to say what I see. In a sense, you could say, I'm fulfilling the commandment, thou shalt not bear false witness. And I am a witness, I am a testigo, Spanish for witness, for my time. And I don't hate anybody. I don't let them get to me that way. I don't hate the Masons, I don't hate the Kabbalists, I don't even hate the reptilians. I'm sure there's a very good reason why things happen, and it's just beyond my comprehension at this level of my development. And that's my definition of faith. And I just love everybody. And I mean everybody. There's nobody I wouldn't go into a burning house for. That's just my nature. I was born a hero. Can't help it. I would go into a burning house for Rabbi Shmuley. I'm not even joking. I wouldn't think twice about it. I don't care they want to kill me. That doesn't make me want to kill them. Honestly, that makes me feel sorry for them. That they carry around all this hate and this contempt for their fellow human beings. And I understand what happened to them. And that allows compassion. And I think I've done a pretty good job of telling you what went wrong with them. How they failed their own heroic journey. And these are always the most problematic people in every generation of man. The people who began with high ideals and aspirations to know their Creator and serve their Creator, and went beyond what a normal man or woman is, but didn't finish the journey. Stopped somewhere and became a magician or a wizard, and used the dowry that the Creator and the creation put into them for themselves, and lost the thread and the meaning in their own existence. And that's true for everything out there. Everything. The universal laws are universal. And there's so many people like this now. spreading this fear and this panic, this Chicken Little nonsense. The sky is falling. And yeah, you can definitely get a little bit of that in the Talamanca Review. But then I counterbalance it with podcasts like the one I'm doing tonight about how you can be a hero. It's all just so sad, really. I feel like Marge Gunderson taking that psychotic dude to jail at the end of Fargo. And all for a little bit of money, don't you know? And it's such a beautiful day. I don't know why life is not enough for these people. They have everything. And it's still not enough. That's another aspect of the dark star, the black star consciousness. It just keeps taking and taking and taking and taking. And I think, all false humility aside, I think I've come up with what the best term for these people is. Not the Illuminati, not the controllers, not the deep state. It's the best way to describe them is the black star cult. And a black star the gravitational field is so strong it'll even take in light. Everything around it just sucks in. And that's what these people are like. You give them $10 billion, they want 20. You give them $20 billion, they want 40. You give them $40 billion, they want 80. Even though there's no earthly way they could ever spend or use that money in 5 or 10 generations of their family. They want and they want and they want and they want. They just keep taking everything in. And it's a defect. It's a defect of consciousness. It's a black star consciousness. It is a collapsing soul. It's what they are. And there's a lot of them now. And they've come to great prominence in the world. And the science, oh my goodness, that science is quite frightening, isn't it? All the things they can do. Aren't they powerful? The great and mighty Wizard of Oz. So powerful. You ever look at their women? They're all into this gaudy Botox and plastic surgery. And I don't mean to speak ill of a man's woman. I wouldn't want it done to me. But in this instance, I think it's valid. You know? Go on to Google sometime and look at a picture of Laura Sanchez from 10 years ago and look at a picture of her now. And I don't know what it is about this plastic surgery and the Botox in the lips and the high cheekbones and the work they get done around their eyes and the way they use makeup, but they end up looking demonic. And you are talking to somebody who knows what a demon looks like. And you know I'm not even half joking. So, how do you become a hero? It's through faith. I know I talk a lot about the Eastern systems. And I'll tell you this, I prefer the East for the actual spiritual practices they give. But a practice is not a faith or a cosmology. I don't care much for the cosmology of Buddhism. I have the highest respect for the practice of Buddhism, of meditation. I don't care much for the culture of Vedic yoga or the cosmology of Vedic yoga. But I have the greatest respect for the exercises, the systems they've created for self-development. I mean, if you just look at them for the purpose, which is the growth of consciousness and the attempt to become realized, and realized means you come to understand that you are a part of the whole, and the whole is the creator, as a living membrane, a sheath of membranes actually, and the energy that supports it all, which is my definition of God. And you're an individual in our lives. I have a passport. It has a name and a birth date on it. I'm an individual. My name is Bruce McDonald. But at the same time, I've come to know that I'm a part of this whole thing. I'm not separate from it. It can appear like I'm separate from it at times, but I'm not. It makes me feel very good. It's like the end of loneliness in a way. Now, I never get lonely, by the way. And I've spent an extraordinary amount of time alone in my life. Freakishly large amount of time. Like monastic. And even in a monastery, you'd be mixing with the other monks. And I've spent more time alone even than that. I've always favored being alone. It's just the way I am. I feel less alone when I'm alone. However oxymoronic that sounds. I do. I like the cosmology of the West. Not a big fan of prayer. But I think some of the simple things we've been given, like the concept of faith, is important. I disagree with these smug assholes who've come and gone like Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, Osho. You know, in a sense they're right. Only a fool would believe something. You're struggling for knowledge, but until you attain knowledge, why not believe? Don't have specific beliefs, but believe that somewhere behind the veil of this reality is something that loves us and cares about us deeply. I don't see anything wrong with that belief. I think that belief is very powerful. Now, what the Eastern systems have taught us is that we are the greatest technology on the planet. Everything we create, including this teleportation technology we looked at yesterday that made the Malaysian airline disappear, that can bend and warp time and space. We've always been able to do that. If you have studied as much spiritual literature from across the world as I have, you would understand that this has always been a part of the human experience. Mystics have been doing stuff like that since the beginning of time. We are the technology. And the people who feel the need to materialize something, there's some deficit in them. You know, the material pornography people. There's some horrible deficit in them. Always got something to prove. Look what I built. Look at the disease I cured. You know, this idea of getting your name in the history books, it's just gone to a new level in the 20th century. a whole new level. And it's ridiculous. You know? And it's not even an accurate reflection of the history. You think the future won't know it's a load of bullshit that Henry Kissinger got the Peace Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize, for negotiating the end of the Vietnam War? Of course they're going to know. Barack Hussein Obama got it for being black. Hey, I'm black. Oh, hey, here's a Peace Prize. The dude bombed more Arab people than any other president, despite allegedly being Muslim himself. He's not Muslim. He's in the Black Star cult. Justin Trudeau, they're all in the cult. It's just a question of degrees and unfoldment. It's the only thing, really. We are the technology. This body, this life is the experiment. God is real. The struggle to know that is the most important struggle in a human life. It's really the only reason we exist, in my definition of God. We're not talking about Shiva or Vishnu or Thor or Odin or Zeus or Yahweh or Allah or Hashem. That's not what I mean when I say God. You guys know what I mean when I say God. It's the most noble thing we can do with our lives. And you don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to be pretentious, and you don't have to grow a beard, and you don't have to wear robes, and you don't have to wear beads. In fact, to the best of your ability, stay away from those fucking people. You got to do it all on your own. You'll be guided. You'll meet the teacher you need to meet when you need to meet the teacher. And the way it works now, you may go through 3 or 5 different teachers in your life. And they're all going to teach you something. My meditation teachers taught me a lot. The Sufi Sheikh taught me a lot. The various dead masters in certain systems that I studied deeply, like Milarepa, the Tibetan Buddhist who could fly, taught me a lot. Actually formed a relationship with them. Literally, like these highly evolved people who lived here, even if it's 1,000 years ago, you can meet them, you can talk to them in meditation, and it's really them. They never really leave. I don't think Christ ever really left. He's still here. They're all still here. And you can know all of them if you want. We are the technology. We are the greatest thing created. And everything we create is just a dumbed down knockoff, a replica of what we can already do with our consciousness. So why do it? Because they're sick. They're not well, these people. I got a Nobel Prize. Look at that, I got my name in the history book. I don't mean to be spooky or frighten you when I do these podcasts. That's not my goal. I'm just telling the truth as I see it. And I think it's important that you know these things. I think you're better off knowing than not knowing. What you do with it is up to you. It can be a good thing and push you into a deeper examination of your life, or it could be a bad thing. It could have you doubling down on the bong or the bottle because it's heavy. It's depressing in some ways. But being able to take that negative force and transmute it into something possible is true alchemy. That's the lead to gold, the metaphor. To take the most negative thing in life and turn it into something positive. That's true alchemy. That's spiritual alchemy. Not metaphysical alchemy, not occult alchemy, true alchemy. And in that regard, the enemies of man are doing us a favor now. And maybe this is how the whole system works. When we stop listening voluntarily and being curious about the divine, the Creator, the creation we live within, maybe when that becomes so societally infectious that the surroundings will become so negative as a result of our closed consciousness that negativity after negativity after negativity will mount until it reaches a point where we have to do something about it. Maybe that's how the whole system works. That's enough for tonight. To make up for the 90 minutes last night, 30 minutes tonight is enough. Just remember, you're a hero. You're a part of the whole. And you matter. You matter. More than you could possibly know. You matter. I'm Bruce McDonald, and this has been the Talamanca Review.